Hi, my name is Sil, and this is an explanation video on how I did Distrust 2 Phase 3 no-hit. Not that anyone cares about this game anymore, but hey, this video exists to save you the trouble of learning a new strat that only has a 1% success rate because you think a pattern is RNG and there is absolutely nothing you can do to stop it. First part is nothing too shabby. You could probably get this in a couple of tries on your first run if you're good enough. Face left and jump to hit the 2 green blasts. If you're unlucky, that will only count as 1 hit to the speakers since they'll both hit on the exact same frame. Thankfully though, you only have to do this 2 or 3 times before facing to the right and jumping over the purple blasts to hit the green ones. This is quite precise, so it may take a bit of practice to get used to. Once you've done that, you come to the puzzle section. The first 2 puzzle sections are the exact same every time once you get the pattern down, so I won't be covering the first one as it's incredibly simple to learn and understand. For the second part, here is what I do. I jump over 1 purple blast to the left before I jump again to hit the green blast. Then I take a precise jump when going to the right to jump over both blasts at the same time to hit the green one when I land. For the gravity switch, I jump as soon as possible. Why? Because the gravity healer isn't like in the OG Sans fight where the gravity change is instant, it builds up over time which can lead to a series of hits. If I jump up, I am out of the way of this purple blast, and this one as well, which I would have hit on the way up if I didn't jump. So yeah, I jump to save hits. When upside down, I just stay in the middle and treat these as mini jumps. They're quite tight, so you don't want to just jump as high as possible. You won't have enough time to get out of the way of these blasts if you do that. This part is just awkward, so I can't really put into words of how I did it. You can just watch and see for yourself. For the second gravity change, I don't jump at all. I get out of the way of the blast that is above, relative to the soul's downward position, before I start jumping again. Then it's just... I'll just watch. So, what exactly is going on here? The bones spawn in a position that's relative to the soul's surrounding area, meaning it isn't randomized wherever it lands. I put it as far to the left as possible to leave me enough room to dodge the blast combination attack near the right. Same thing happens when I'm facing left. If I go too far to the right, the green blast won't hit the speaker, so I have to play a bit risky here. Thankfully though, facing left is far easier than facing right. Trust me, I would know. The second puzzle is just chaining changes together. This is the exact same every time and it is 100% consistent. The pattern is a bit complicated, so I'm just going to let this speak for itself. For the soccer section, you just hold left the entire time. Getting a goal gives you a heal, but it makes the game harder to compensate for that. The first round is the easiest, the second round uses the Flappy Bird mechanics, and the third round uses gravity changes. The third round forces you to lose, so there is no point in getting past the first round unless you're low on HP. For the part before the train, I follow a movement pattern called 3-1-3-2-3-2. Yeah, it sounds confusing, I know, but it's how I measure how many bones I need to jump over before the top bones make jumping lethal. 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 2. Simple, right? After that, we get to the train section. If I'm being honest, I don't really have any good advice for this section. I just jump over 2 sets of 2 bones before I go to singular hops. This is because the middle bones make it difficult to do double jumps as it is incredibly precise. Plus, I have to wait for the train to move away before I can change the gravity again to avoid the other train coming down my path at the current moment. The final puzzle has random positioning of its O's and X's, so it can be a huge pain, especially if you're just completing the phase for the first time. What works best for me is that I go down to the bottom to avoid hitting the O's, which will turn it into a triangle and force me to hit the switch to do the 2 middle bits again. I don't get why the puzzle was designed this way, to be honest. Anyway, I stay down at the bottom because 1, there is no collision on this wall, and 2, it gives me maximum reaction time if an O or X crosses my path, which wouldn't be so easy to do if I was higher up. I always get nervous on this segment, especially when the timer is about to run out and I have to risk absolutely everything just to complete it. Man, that felt good when I made it though. After that, the bullet hell section. Yeah, I cannot really say anything about this. There is a pattern-ish, but it's very difficult to learn, and I don't really feel like explaining it, as I'd be here all day today and tomorrow. Hey, I'm neurodivergent, okay? Cut me some slack. The final section isn't hard, but when your nerves tense up, you try to think about what is the best time and spot for you to dash at. I just repeat the same thing over and over. After hitting the square enough times, the phase ends, and now I will revel in my freedom from phase 3. I hope this video was useful, or maybe not. Damn, is anyone else ever actually going to no-hit this or phase 1? I'm scared to get close. I hate being alone. I long for that feeling to not feel it all. The higher I get, the lower I'll sit. I can't drown my demons. They know how to swim.